Unit 1, Practice 2, page 5. Listen to the conversation. Complete the sentences with the simple present or the present progressive. Then practice the conversation with a partner.
Hi, Dan. What are you doing these days?
Hi, Karen. I'm taking a course in computer programming. What about you?
Oh, I'm working at the library until July.
Do you like it?
Yes, I do. Right now, they're giving me a lot of training. Every morning, they train me for an hour. I work long hours, and I don't get home until 7. But that's okay because I'm learning a lot.
I'm looking for a job too. It's becoming harder and harder to find a job. Companies are looking for people who are familiar with new software.
Are you learning about all the new software in your course?
Yes, I am.
How long does the course run?
It usually runs for 8 weeks, but I'm doing it in 6.
Do they give you a certificate at the end?
Yes, they do. They also give students a list of companies to contact about jobs.
Unit 1, Practice 3, page 6. Work with a partner. Match the conversations that you hear with the uses of the simple present and the present progressive. 1.
Where do your parents live?
They live in Mexico City.
2.
What's your brother doing these days?
He's looking for a new car.
3.
Look at that car. It's driving through a red light.
And now it's going faster. Where do you think it's going in such a hurry?
4.
How do you get to school every morning?
I usually walk. What about you?
5.
How are you doing in this class?
Not bad. My English compositions are getting better.
6.
Is the temperature cold enough to make ice?
Yes, water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. Unit 1, Practice 6, page 10. Listen to the conversation. Complete the sentences with the simple present or the present progressive. Then practice the conversation with a partner.
You have a nice apartment.
Thank you. It is small, but it has a nice view. You can see the lake from here.
Yes, I see it. Your apartment is very sunny, and I love your furniture.
Thank you. I know a very good furniture store that has great things, and they don't cost much. I'm going there today with a friend. You can come with us if you want.
That sounds great. I'm thinking about buying a new sofa, but I don't know where to go.
Unit 1, Practice 10, page 16. Listen to the TV report about Barbara Bates. Choose the correct adverb from the choices in parentheses and put it in the correct position in the sentence. Only one adverb is correct.
Barbara Bates is an actor who has made over 20 movies in her career. She started acting when she was 13 years old, and she has traveled to many parts of the world. She has finished a romantic comedy with the famous actor Jason James. Although she has done lots of comedies, she hasn't acted in a drama. But has she won an Oscar? Not yet, but she has not given up. She says that she has not had the right part that could win an Oscar for her.
Unit 1, Listening Puzzle, page 21. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a grain from which many kinds of food are made. It is the world's #1 food crop, providing a greater volume of food than any other. The plants that produce it are kinds of grass and are annuals, meaning they grow for only 1 year. It probably originated somewhere in Southwest or West Central Asia. Archaeologists have found remains of it in human settlements about 12,000 years old. It grows best in regions like the grasslands of Asia, where rainfall is not very heavy and humidity is low. Unlike many other grains, it is not usually eaten whole. Most often, it is ground into flour for baking bread or making noodles. What is this?
Unit 1. Listening Puzzle. Page 21. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a grain from which many kinds of food are made. It is the world's #1 food crop. Providing a greater volume of food than any other. The plants that produce it are kinds of grass. And are annuals, meaning they grow for only 1 year. It probably originated somewhere in Southwest or West Central Asia. Archaeologists have found remains of it in human settlements about 12,000 years old. It grows best in regions like the grasslands of Asia. Where rainfall is not very heavy and humidity is low. Unlike many other grains, it is not usually eaten whole. Most often, it is ground into flour. For baking bread or making noodles.
Unit 2, Practice 1, page 33. Listen to the conversation. Complete the sentences with the simple past or the past progressive. Then practice the conversation with a partner. A.
You won't believe what happened to me this morning.
What happened?
I was waiting at the bus stop when I saw an accident, or almost an accident. A man was talking on his cell phone while he was driving. He wasn't paying attention to the road when suddenly the traffic light turned red. A woman was crossing the street at that moment.
Wow! Did he see her?
Yes, he stopped the car just in time.
Was the woman hurt?
No, she wasn't hurt, but she was lucky.
B.
Tell me about something scary that happened to you.
Well, let's see. A few months ago, I was sitting at home alone. I was watching a show on TV, and I was feeling tired. I was thinking about going to bed when I heard a noise.
Where was the noise coming from?
It seemed to be coming from upstairs.
Were you scared at that point?
Yes, I was. Very scared. I turned off the TV, took the cordless phone in my hand, and started to walk up the stairs. Then I heard the same noise again. I called the police.
Unit 2, Practice 5, page 35. Listen to the TV report on Tiger Woods. Then decide if each statement is true or false. Pay attention to the simple past and the present perfect.
Tiger Woods was born in California in 1975. His father taught Tiger to play golf when he was only 9 months old, and Tiger played his first game when he was 1.5 years old. At the age of 8, he won his first tournament. He has won many tournaments since then. He has also earned a lot of money. In recent years, Tiger has helped to make golf a popular sport. Tiger says the best advice he has ever gotten was from his father, who told him these words a long time ago: always be yourself.
Unit 2, Listening Puzzle, page 49. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
Work started on this canal in 1882. It was the idea of a Frenchman, but after 8 years, he gave up because he had lost thousands of lives and millions of dollars. In fact, 20,000 had died because of the disease malaria. Mosquitoes were spreading the disease. Before work began again on the canal, they had to solve the problem of the disease. They drained the swamps to kill the mosquitoes. The Americans now started work on the canal in 1904. They used the largest and most modern machinery of the time. They completed the canal in 1914. It is the world's busiest ship canal and links the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. What is the name of this canal?
Unit 2, Listening Puzzle, page 49. C. Listen again and write the sentences you hear.
Work started on this canal in 1882. It was the idea of a Frenchman, but after 8 years, he gave up. Because he had lost thousands of lives and millions of dollars. In fact, 20,000 had died because of the disease malaria. Mosquitoes were spreading the disease. Before work began again on the canal, they had to solve the problem of the disease. They drained the swamps to kill the mosquitoes. The Americans now started work on the canal in 1904. They used the largest and most modern machinery of the time. They completed the canal in 1914. It is the world's busiest ship canal and links the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans.
Unit 3, Practice 1, page 60. Listen to the conversation. Complete the sentences with be going to or will. Then practice the conversation with a partner.
What are you going to do tonight?
I'm going to see the new Steven Spielberg movie with Melissa. How about you?
Oh, I think I'll stay home tonight.
Why don't you come with us? It'll be fun.
Okay, I'll go with you.
We're going to leave at 7, and we'll probably get there by 7:30.
Okay, I'll see you in front of the movie theater at 7:30 then.
Unit 3, Practice 4, page 63. A. Matt is 16 years old. A TV show interviewed him about his future plans. Listen to the interview.
I want to be a rich and famous rock star in the future. I will be a famous rock star before I am 25. When I'm 30, I'll have a lot of money. As soon as I become a millionaire, I'll retire. After I retire early, I'll travel all over the world. As soon as I have enough time and money, I'll go to Africa. After I have seen the main cities, I'll go to Asia. When I go there, I'll visit my friend Hong in China. If he has time, he'll show me around. Before I come back home, I'll visit Japan. When I come back home, I'll go back to my hometown and buy a big house. I'll help out my parents if they want me to.
Unit 3, Practice 12, page 71. Listen to the conversation. Complete the sentences with will plus base verb, or the future progressive, will plus be plus verb plus ing. Then practice the conversation with a partner. Isabel is talking to her friend Susan about going on a vacation to Barcelona, Spain. Susan's family lives there, and Isabel is going to stay with them.
When you arrive at the airport in Barcelona, my sister will be waiting for you.
How will we know each other? We've never met.
Don't worry, she has a photo of you. Anyway, you won't miss her. She looks like me, and she'll be wearing a red dress or jacket. She always wears red.
Okay, I won't worry. I still can't believe it. This time tomorrow, I'll be sitting on a plane on my way to Spain.
And at 1 o'clock the next day, you'll be eating lunch with my family, and then you'll be having a siesta, which is what we call an afternoon rest.
Unit 3, Listening Puzzle, page 81. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a vehicle that orbits the Earth. They launch it from the surface on board a rocket. Then they drop the rocket, and the vehicle, now on its own, begins orbiting the planet. It completes 2 orbits of the Earth each day. It is part of a system run by the United States. The system is growing, and soon it will include 32 vehicles or more. Controllers on Earth communicate with it by sending radio signals. In return, it sends radio signals back that help drivers, pilots, hikers, and explorers know where they are. All this is done automatically because this vehicle carries no people. What is it?
Unit 3, Listening Puzzle, page 81. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a vehicle that orbits the Earth. They launch it from the surface on board a rocket. Then they drop the rocket. And the vehicle, now on its own, begins orbiting the planet. It completes 2 orbits of the Earth each day. It is part of a system run by the United States. The system is growing, and soon it will include 32 vehicles or more. Controllers on Earth communicate with it by sending radio signals. In return, it sends radio signals back that help drivers, pilots, hikers, and explorers know where they are. All this is done automatically. Because this vehicle carries no people.
Unit 4, Practice 6, page 96. Listen to the conversation. Complete the sentences. Use the words in parentheses with the possessive '(s) or of. Sometimes you will have to add the word the. Then practice the conversation with a partner.
Jack's sister and I went out to dinner last night. The food was wonderful, but I can't remember the name of the restaurant. It was something like Tony's Place.
Where was it?
I can't remember the name of the street, but it was on the opposite side of the street from Mike's Pizza. The freshness of the food was incredible, and you would like the size of the portions.
Was it expensive?
The price of the main courses was a little high, but if you have the specials of the day, you won't spend much.
Sounds good. Maybe I'll try it.
Unit 4, Practice 12, page 103. Complete the sentences with nouns from the list. Add articles and make the nouns plural if necessary. Then listen to the conversations to check your answers. Practice the conversations with a partner. 1.
May I have some water?
Of course. Help yourself. The glasses on this shelf are for water.
2.
How was your trip to Paris?
Amazing! Climbing the Eiffel Tower was an experience I will never forget.
3.
My mother's hair turned gray when she was only 30.
I hope that doesn't happen to me. I'm 25, and I already have 2 gray hairs.
4.
Do you have time to help me with my homework?
Sure, I can help you this afternoon.
5.
The company wanted someone with experience in marketing or sales.
That sounds perfect for you. You've worked in marketing before.
6.
Have you met the manager before?
Yes, we've met several times.
7.
What an unusual office building. What's it made of?
The outside is made of glass and wood.
8.
I like this desk.
Thanks. My brother made it. He used 3 different woods.
Unit 4, Practice 15, page 105. Complete the sentences with some or any. Listen to the conversation to check your answers. Then practice the conversation with a partner.
Could you go to the store for me? I want to make spaghetti tonight, and I need tomato sauce and some olive oil.
Sure. And are there any other things that you need?
Well, I don't have any cheese. Could you get some Parmesan cheese?
Of course. About half a pound? Oh, what kind of olive oil do you want?
Oh, any kind of olive oil will do, as long as it's virgin olive oil.
Could you make some garlic bread to go with the spaghetti?
Good idea. Get some garlic and get some more bread just in case we have some extra guests.
Okay, I'm on my way. Oh, wait, I don't have any money.
Unit 4, Practice 22, page 111. Listen to the news report. Then decide if the following statements are true, T, or false, F.
We have breaking news from Miami, Florida, where firefighters are working hard to put out a fire. The fire started at 7 this morning at Andy's restaurant on Palm Street. It then spread to Pat's Pizza Palace next door. The fire burned so fast that firefighters could not save either of these restaurants. The fire then spread to 2 other businesses nearby, a clothing store called Ocean Outfitters and a photocopy shop called Cat's Copies. Firefighters are concerned that all of the other businesses on Ocean Street may be in danger if they can't get this fire under control very soon. The shops and restaurants on this street are very close to each other. However, the fire department warns worried business owners and shoppers to stay away from the area. A few minutes ago, we spoke with Fire Chief John Russell. Here's what he had to say.
We have great firefighters, and every one of them is working hard to get this situation under control. We think we can save many buildings, but unfortunately, it looks like almost all of them will have some smoke or water damage. Now, it's very important for everyone to stay out of their way and let them do their job. Also, there are only 3 streets that can take you to Ocean Street, and right now, they are all blocked off by police cars. So if you need to travel near Ocean Street, please look for an alternative route.
Unit 4. Listening Puzzle. Page 113. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a baked food that we often eat for dessert. It often has round edges, like a circle. Most cooking traditions around the world include some form of it. It has pastry at the bottom. A layer of some other food, called the filling, comes next. It may also have a second layer of pastry on top of the filling. Without this second layer, people call it open. There are recipes for it even in Roman writings that are 2,000 years old. Until the 1900s, people usually made the filling out of meat or vegetables. Then, fruit fillings became very popular. What is it?
Unit 4. Listening Puzzle. Page 113. C. Listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a baked food that we often eat for dessert. It often has round edges, like a circle. Most cooking traditions around the world include some form of it. It has pastry at the bottom. A layer of some other food, called the filling, comes next. It may also have a second layer of pastry on top of the filling. Without this second layer, people call it open. There are recipes for it even in Roman writings. That are 2,000 years old. Until the 1900s, people usually made the filling out of meat or vegetables. Then, fruit fillings became very popular.
Unit 5, Practice 1, page 125. Replace the underlined nouns with the correct subject or object pronoun. Then listen to the phone message and check your answers. Ben is on a business trip. He is leaving a phone message for his wife, Rosie. Hi, Rosie. It's Ben. I left home in a big hurry this morning. Could you do a few things for me? The electricity bill is on the bookshelf. It is due tomorrow. Please pay it for me. Also, I left my glasses on the table. I'm afraid they might get broken. Can you put them on the desk for me? Oh, and I forgot it was Jenny's birthday. She will be upset. Would you mind getting her a card for me? What else? Oh, yes. Remember to take Peter to his soccer game this afternoon. He will be waiting for you at school. Tell him I hope his team wins. Let me see. I fed the cat this morning. The poor girl seemed hungry, but she didn't eat. Why don't you feed her a different kind of food tonight? Rosie, I'll be back tomorrow by 7 o'clock in the evening. I haven't forgotten it's your birthday. We both like Gino's restaurant, so I'll call and make a reservation for us. Miss you, and see you soon. Unit 5, Practice 7, page 131. Paul and Mary have invited Tony and Linda to their house for dinner. Match the sentences on the left with the correct responses on the right. Next, complete the sentences with the correct reflexive pronouns. You may need to use by. Then listen to check your answers. Practice the dialogues with a partner. 1.
Hello. Thanks for inviting us.
You're welcome. Please come in and make yourselves at home.
2.
Mary, this cake is delicious.
Thanks. I made it myself.
3.
Could I have some more cake?
Of course, Linda. Please help yourself.
4.
Is this a photo of your twins when they were little?
Yes, they taught themselves to ride bikes when they were only 4 years old.
5.
Does Matthew still live at home?
No, he left home last year, and now he lives by himself.
6.
Is that an automatic light?
Yes, when you go into the room, it goes on by itself.
7.
What beautiful bookshelves.
Thank you. We couldn't make them ourselves, so a friend made them for us.
Unit 5, Practice 14, Page 138. Listen to the conversation at a bakery. Complete the sentences with one or ones, plus the, this, that, which, or other words that you hear. Then practice the conversation with a partner.
A loaf of bread, please.
Which kind?
I'm not sure. What's this one in front called?
It's called Country Farmhouse White.
And what's that one over there called?
The one on the top shelf? It's called German Rye.
I'll take 2 of the white ones, please.
Would you like them sliced?
I'd like this one sliced and that one unsliced, please.
Anything else?
Yes. I'd like 4 cupcakes.
I have cupcakes with orange or chocolate frosting. Which ones do you want?
The ones with the orange frosting.
Small or large?
The small ones, please. I don't like large ones.
Unit 5. Listening Puzzle. Page 143. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is used at home by millions of people. The first models of it were invented in the late 1800s. However, it did not become common in homes until the 1920s. The earliest versions of it were very large and very dangerous. They contained poison gases that could leak out. After safer gases became available in the 1930s, this became more popular. It still contains gases, but they do not provide power to it. Electricity does. Instead, the gases carry heat away from food stored inside it. The food stays good a lot longer because this keeps it cool. What is this?
Unit 5. Listening Puzzle. Page 143. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is used at home by millions of people. The first models of it were invented in the late 1800s. However, it did not become common in homes until the 1920s. The earliest versions of it were very large and very dangerous. They contained poison gases that could leak out. After safer gases became available in the 1930s, this became more popular. It still contains gases, but they do not provide power to it. Electricity does. Instead, the gases carry heat away from food stored inside it. The food stays good a lot longer. Because this keeps it cool.
Unit 6, Practice 1, page 154. Listen to the conversations. Complete the sentences with the correct form of be able to, can, or could, and the verb that you hear. Then practice the conversations with a partner. 1.
Stan is such a great swimmer.
I know. But he wasn't able to swim until he was 15 years old.
2.
So are we going to the concert this weekend?
I have to think about it. I can't make a decision right now.
3.
I regret that I won't be able to attend the meeting next Tuesday.
That's all right. Thank you for notifying me in advance.
4.
Anne broke her right arm last year.
You're kidding. She can use it very well now when she plays tennis.
5.
They weren't able to reach a decision at the meeting yesterday.
I can't believe it. The meeting lasted 6 hours.
6.
It's necessary to have a car in Los Angeles. Everything is so far apart.
Then I guess I'm at a big disadvantage there because I can't drive.
7.
Could you drive me home now?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
8.
The tech people are going to work on the server this afternoon.
Oh no. We might not be able to get our email.
Unit 6, Practice 10, page 163. Listen to Laura's description of her problems at work. What should Laura do? Write 4 sentences using should, shouldn't, or ought to.
I'm having a lot of problems at work. My boss always gives me too much work, and I can never get it finished on time. Also, my desk area is much too small. I have so many papers and files that there's no room for them, and they end up all over the floor. And you wouldn't believe how hot it is in there. The heat is always on high, and it gives me a constant headache. But the worst thing is, I don't think any of my coworkers like me. They never ask me to eat lunch with them.
Unit 6. Practice 13. Page 166. Listen to the conversation about Gary and Julia's vacation. Write 5 sentences about the conversation using should have and shouldn't have.
Julia and I decided to go to Spain for a vacation. We found a cheap hotel and flight package from a new discount travel agency.
I think that's where our troubles began. When we got to the airport, we found that the flight was overbooked. We didn't have seats. We had to wait 6 hours for the next flight.
Yeah, we didn't call ahead to confirm our seats. Anyway, we finally got to Spain and to our hotel. After our flight problems, we couldn't wait to relax at the beach.
Yeah, but then we found out that the hotel was not near the beach, as the travel agent had said. It was at least 2 miles, 3.22 kilometers away.
So we went out to eat at a nearby restaurant, but we couldn't speak any Spanish, and Julia had left her Spanish dictionary and phrase book at home.
Yeah, we couldn't understand the menu at all. We both ordered meat, and we're both vegetarians.
It gets worse. When we got back to our hotel, we discovered my camera and cell phone were gone.
Unit 6. Listening Puzzle. Page 171. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a way of paying for things you buy. It became popular because it is light and easy to carry. It can be made of very cheap materials. No gold or other rare material has to be mined and processed when people use this. However, some people believe they had better not carry this. If it is stolen, it can easily be used by the thief. No one has to prove who he or she is in order to use it. Other people like to use this instead of other forms of payment. It is simple and easy to count. You don't have to do a lot of paperwork to keep track of your money when you use this. It comes in 2 forms, metal coins and paper bills. What is it?
Unit 6. Listening Puzzle, page 171. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a way of paying for things you buy. It became popular because it is light and easy to carry. It can be made of very cheap materials. No gold or other rare material has to be mined and processed when people use this. However, some people believe they had better not carry this. If it is stolen, it can easily be used by the thief. No one has to prove who he or she is in order to use it. Other people like to use this instead of other forms of payment. It is simple and easy to count. You don't have to do a lot of paperwork to keep track of your money when you use this. It comes in two forms, metal coins and paper bills.
End of CD 1. Unit 7, Practice 1, page 181. Complete the sentences with how about, why don't, shall, could, or can. Listen to the conversation to check your answers. Then practice the conversation with a partner. Rick and Olivia are having a cup of coffee between classes.
Shall we go to the movies tonight?
Great idea! How about going to that new film at the Avon Cinema?
Okay. Shall I pick you up at 5:30?
Sure. Maybe we can go out to eat afterwards.
Great. Or we could eat at my place if you like.
Why don't we pick up some takeout Chinese food on the way to your house? Then you don't have to cook.
Perfect.
Unit 7, Practice 6, page 188. A. Listen to each conversation. Write the word you hear, may, could, or can, to complete each request. Then practice the conversations with a partner. 1.
Could I leave work a little early today?
Certainly. That's fine.
2.
May I borrow your newspaper for a moment?
Of course.
3.
Could I have another cup of coffee?
Sure, right away.
4.
Can Susan come to school early tomorrow? I want to help her with her math.
Of course. What time should she be there?
Five.
May I hand in my paper a day late?
I'm sorry, but the date can't be changed.
Six.
Can you give me $5, please?
Certainly not. I've already given you your allowance this week.
Seven.
Can I close the window?
Good idea. It's getting cold in here.
Unit 7. Practice 11. Page 197. A. Listen to the TV documentary on Agatha Christie.
Agatha Christie was a famous British author of mystery novels. But there was an incident in her own life that was mysterious, just like an incident from her novels. She married at the age of 24. 12 years later, her husband Archie asked for a divorce because he had fallen in love with a younger woman. At this time, Agatha was upset by the death of her mother, and she suddenly disappeared. She was missing for 3 weeks. The police, newspaper reporters, and her husband searched for her everywhere. Finally, they found her. She was staying in a small hotel in Harrogate, England, using the name Mrs. Neely. She told the police that she had lost her memory. No one knows why she went there or what she did during those 3 weeks. Soon after, she divorced her husband, and 6 months later, she married again. She never talked about her mysterious disappearance incident again.
Unit 7. Practice 20. Page 207. Read the situations and write sentences about each one with may, might, could, or must in the progressive or perfect progressive form. Use one of the following prompts for each situation. Then listen to the conversations to check your answers. Practice the conversations with a partner. 1.
What's happening next door? I heard people shouting this morning.
They must have been having an argument.
2.
I live in a 5-story building. I heard a lot of noise on the stairs yesterday.
The new neighbor must have been moving in.
3.
The front door of the neighbor's house is open, and all the hall lights are on.
They must be expecting a lot of guests.
4.
I can hear a lot of loud music next door and people laughing and talking.
The neighbors must be having a party.
5.
There is smoke and the smell of delicious food coming from the backyard.
They must be cooking on the grill.
6.
They sent out invitations several weeks ago.
They must have been planning this party for some time.
7.
A delivery man from Christine's Bakery took a huge cake box into their house.
They must be celebrating a birthday.
8.
I called them to complain about the noise, but no one answered the phone.
They must be playing music too loud to hear anything.
Unit 7. Listening puzzle. Page 211. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This island nation is longer, from north to south, than it is wide. It lies in one of the Earth's mild zones and has a pleasant climate. Only the highest parts of the country's main island get significant amounts of snow. The official head of state is a queen, and an elected legislature handles the day-to-day work of the government. Soccer and cricket are popular sports here, but no sport gets the nation as excited as rugby does. This land did not have a permanent human population until about AD 800. Its beautiful scenery is one reason why the Lord of the Rings movies were filmed here. Which country is this?
Unit 7. Listening Puzzle. Page 211. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This island nation is longer, from north to south, than it is wide. It lies in one of the Earth's mild zones and has a pleasant climate. Only the highest parts of the country's main island get significant amounts of snow. The official head of state is a queen. And an elected legislature handles the day-to-day work of the government. Soccer and cricket are popular sports here. But no sport gets the nation as excited as rugby does. This land did not have a permanent human population until about AD 800. Its beautiful scenery is one reason why the Lord of the Rings movies were filmed here.
Unit 8, Practice 3, page 224. Rewrite the following news stories in the passive voice where appropriate. State the agent if it is important to the story. Listen and check your answers. 1.
Many towns in the north have been cut off by snowstorms. The main highway to the north has been blocked by snow. The road is unable to be cleared because the snow is still coming down heavily.
2.
A total of $2 million has been stolen from the National Bank in New York City. 2 guards were taken to the hospital by medical emergency workers. 3 men have been arrested in connection with the robbery. Another man is being questioned.
3.
2 teenage boys were found by the Coast Guard yesterday in a small boat far offshore. The boys and the boat had been missing since last Friday. The 2 boys were alive but weak. The boys were taken to the hospital. They are expected to recover soon.
4.
2 men are being sought in connection with a robbery at a gas station. The cashier was held up, but he wasn't injured. While the money was being stolen, the cashier was tied up by one of the men. The men escaped in a black truck, which police think was used by the men in other robberies in the same area.
Unit 8, Practice 8, page 232. A. Listen to statements about Janice. What kind of person is she? Write B for the sentences in which get means become. Write O for sentences with other meanings of get.
1. Janice gets up at 8 a.m.
2. If she doesn't sleep enough, she gets tired by the end of the day.
3. She gets dressed before having her breakfast. 4. She gets her briefcase ready the night before. 5. She gets irritated when the bus is late. 6. She always gets her work done by the end of the day. 7. She doesn't like it when her boss gets angry. 8. She gets bored if she is not busy. 9. She would like to get another job next year. 10. She likes to go home before it gets dark. 11. She usually gets sleepy by 9 p.m.
Unit 8, Practice 15, page 239. A famous film director, Robert Ebbets, is traveling to New York City. His personal assistant is giving the hotel instructions. Rewrite the sentences as causatives. Then listen and check your answers.
1. He likes to wake up at 6 a.m. Please have the front desk call him at 6 a.m. 2. He likes to read 3 daily newspapers first thing in the morning. Please have the bellman deliver them. 3. He likes to have fresh fruit and coffee for breakfast at 7 a.m. Please have room service bring them at 7 a.m. 4. He doesn't like fresh flowers in his room. Don't have the florist put them in his room. 5. He needs 3 shirts to be washed every day. Please have the laundry wash them every day. 6. He needs a fax machine and a flat-screen TV installed in his room before he checks in. Please get the technical staff to install them. 7. He wants his shoes polished and left outside his door every morning. Please have the bellman polish them every morning. 8. He needs a limousine waiting for him in front of the hotel each day at 9 a.m. Please get a chauffeur to bring one each day at 9 a.m.
Unit 8. Practice 20. Page 247. A. Complete the sentences with particles from the list. Use down 2 times. Use up 4 times. Then listen and check your answers.
I was born and brought up in Madrid. I was left alone a lot as a child and learned to look after myself. I did a lot of reading. One winter, while I was getting over the flu, I came across a book about Sherlock Holmes, the famous fictional detective. I loved it. And that's when I started thinking up mystery stories of my own and writing them down. I designed elaborate covers for the books and used up all the paper in the house. I gave them as presents to my family and challenged them to work out the solutions to the crimes in my stories. My mother tried to get me to give up mystery stories and try some other form of fiction, but it was no good. Even now that I am older, I still read mysteries in my spare time. There's nothing like a good mystery to calm you down after a hectic day.
Unit 8. Listening Puzzle. Page 255. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is an animal that lives most of its life in the water. It is a mammal. Whales and porpoises are its closest relatives. Water helps support its body weight, but it cannot float on the surface. Since it needs a breath of air every 5 minutes or so, it has to swim upward quite often. Instinct makes it do this automatically, even when it is asleep underwater. It eats only plants, but it is not gentle. It is believed to kill more people per year than any other animal. Despite its great weight, it can run twice as fast as a human. Even on land, it has no trouble catching, biting, and crushing any human that annoys it. Its name comes from Greek words meaning horse of the river. What is it?
Unit 8. Listening Puzzle. Page 255. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is an animal that lives most of its life in the water. It is a mammal. Whales and porpoises are its closest relatives. Water helps support its body weight. But it cannot float on the surface. Since it needs a breath of air every 5 minutes or so, it has to swim upward quite often. Instinct makes it do this automatically. Even when it is asleep underwater. It eats only plants, but it is not gentle. It is believed to kill more people per year than any other animal. Despite its great weight, it can run twice as fast as a human. Even on land, it has no trouble catching, biting, and crushing any human that annoys it. Its name comes from Greek words meaning horse of the river.
Unit 9, Practice 2, page 266. Tim and Erica feel the same way about their health. Use gerunds to complete Erica's sentences to express the same information as in Tim's sentences. Listen to check your answers. Then practice the conversation with a partner. 1.
The doctor said I could get heart disease.
Really? My doctor said I risk getting heart disease too.
2.
It might be a good idea to go on a diet, she said.
My doctor also suggested going on a diet.
3.
I'm making other changes to improve my health. I decided not to drink coffee.
I decided to give up drinking coffee myself.
4.
It's difficult not to drink coffee when I'm tired.
For me, it's difficult to avoid drinking coffee in the mornings.
5.
I think that I shouldn't eat ice cream.
Me too. In fact, I want to stop eating ice cream and all other desserts.
6.
I sometimes buy a small bag of potato chips. They are so good.
I know. Sometimes I can't resist buying a bag of potato chips.
7.
I thought dieting would be hard, but it's okay to count calories at meals.
I don't mind counting calories at meals either.
8.
I used to cook a lot of rich food.
I used to enjoy cooking a lot of rich food too.
9.
I have to learn to make new dishes with fewer calories.
I know what you mean. I have to practice making healthier meals.
10.
It's hard to make changes, but I want to take care of my health while I'm still young.
I feel the same way. I don't want to put off taking care of my health.
Unit 9. Practice 5. Page 270. Listen to the statements. For each one, circle the letter A, B, or C of the sentence with the same meaning.
1. I can't type your report because I'm too busy typing my own report.
2. It's not worth watching movies in the theater because they come out on DVD very quickly.
3. There's no point in living in the city if you don't go out.
4. It's a waste of time complaining about your cell phone service.
5. The exam is over. It's no use worrying about it now.
6. I can't stand spending all of my money before the end of the month.
9. Practice 18. Page 285. Listen to Joe telling a friend about his first job. Complete the sentences using the perfect gerund form of the verbs that you hear. Some sentences require the active voice. The others require the passive.
My first job was as a journalist for a local newspaper. Having spent 4 years in college earning a degree in English, I thought I would be able to do the job easily. I was pleased at having found the perfect job. After having made many corrections on my first article, my boss advised me to work harder. I tried hard, but I couldn't do better. After having been warned that I could lose my job, I started to worry. I think most people would get worried after having been told that they would lose their job. I felt like a complete failure. I felt angry at having been treated unfairly. I told my uncle that after having lost this job, I thought I would never find a job again. Having heard that, My uncle offered me a job as his personal assistant working for his magazine.
Unit 9. Practice 21. Page 288. Listen to the following questions. Is the question about a single complete action or an action in progress? Underline the form that you hear.
1. What would you do if you saw someone steal your car?
2. What would you do if you saw someone leave their car lights on?
3. What would you do if you heard someone breaking into your house at night?
4. What would you do if you heard someone scream and fall down the stairs?
5. What would you do if you noticed a mouse crawling towards your chair?
6. What would you do if you saw a spider sitting on your computer?
Unit 9. Listening puzzle. Page 293. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a sport in which players kick a ball. 2 teams compete on a grass-covered field. Several lines are marked on the field. At each end of the field is a goal line. A team can score points by making the ball go over a goal line. A structure called a goal marks the part of the line where points can be scored. A player called a goalkeeper tries to keep the ball from crossing the goal line. A net is attached to the goal structure. Touching the ball with one's hands is not allowed. Only the goalkeeper is allowed to do this. What is this sport?
Unit 9. Listening puzzle. Page 293. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a sport in which players kick a ball. Two teams compete on a grass-covered field. Several lines are marked on the field. At each end of the field is a goal line. A team can score points by making the ball go over a goal line. A structure called a goal marks the part of the line where points can be scored. A player called a goalkeeper tries to keep the ball from crossing the goal line. A net is attached to the goal structure. Touching the ball with one's hands is not allowed. Only the goalkeeper is allowed to do this.
Unit 10, Practice 3, page 306. Complete the sentences with a singular or plural form of the verb be. Then listen and check your answers.
There are 20 students in my daughter's class. Elena, along with all the other students, is taking a test right now. The subject of the test is mathematics. All of the children are allowed to use a calculator, which makes it easier. The instructions for the exam are on the board. There is a separate answer sheet for each section of the exam. The answers are written in pencil. My daughter, along with all the other students in the class, is trying hard to pass the exam. All of the children except Elena are having trouble with the questions. Elena is one of the few students who is able to finish all the questions on time.
Unit 10, Practice 11, page 312. Underline and correct the errors in parallel structure. Some sentences have no errors. Then listen to the statements and check your answers.
1. In order to maintain youth and good health, we need to have a combination of exercise and proper nutrition.
2. Exercise is good for our physical health and psychology. Exercise is good for our physical and psychological health.
3. Regular exercise improves digestion, increases energy, burns fat, and lowers blood cholesterol.
4. It also reduces stress and anxiety, which are the main reasons for many illnesses and conditions.
5. Also, regular exercise elevates mood, increases feelings of well-being, and reduces anxiety and depression.
6. When you start an exercise program, remember to start out slowly. Listen to your body and gradually increase the difficulty and length of the exercise.
7. There are many different forms of moderate exercise, including daily walking, bicycling, or even gardening.
Unit 10, Practice 17, page 318. Underline the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. Then listen to the statements and check your answers.
1. Both vitamin C and calcium are important for good health.
2. Both your teeth and bones need calcium.
3. Either milk or products from milk contain a lot of calcium.
4. Both children and the elderly require calcium.
5. Neither chicken nor pork has much calcium.
6. Not only milk products, but also green vegetables contain calcium.
7. Neither the liver nor the blood makes calcium.
8. Either food or drink gives the body the calcium it needs.
Unit 10. Listening Puzzle. Page 319. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a material used in making clothes. It can be produced in many different forms. Some are light and airy, others are dense and heavy. It does not wrinkle very easily. This is good because clothing made from it should not be ironed. Older forms of it could be uncomfortable to wear. Newer forms are more comfortable and less smelly. It is used in making clothing that will dry very quickly. It was first sold in the United States in 1951. If exposed to high heat, it will melt, not burn. What is it?
Unit 10. Listening Puzzle. Page 319. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a material used in making clothes. It can be produced in many different forms. Some are light and airy. Others are dense and heavy. It does not wrinkle very easily. This is good because clothing made from it should not be ironed. Older forms of it could be uncomfortable to wear. Newer forms are more comfortable and less smelly. It is used in making clothing that will dry very quickly. It was first sold in the United States in 1951. If exposed to high heat, it will melt, not burn.
Unit 11, Practice 4, page 332. Listen to the questions someone asks a potential employer at a job interview. Rewrite each question as a main clause plus a WH noun clause. Be sure to use correct punctuation at the end of the sentences.
1. How many people does your company employ? 2. When did the company first get started? 3. Where is the head office? 4. What are the job benefits? 5. How many vacation days do people get? 6. What is the salary? 7. Who will my manager be? 8. When does the job start?
'Unit 11, Practice 8, page 335. Listen to the conversation. Rewrite each question with the if, whether noun clause plus main clause that you hear. Then practice the conversation with a partner. Alice is thinking of having a birthday party at the Paradise Restaurant. She is asking her friend Todd about the restaurant.
Did we eat lunch there together last year, or didn't we?
I can't remember if we ate lunch there together last year.
Did we like the food?
I can't remember whether or not we liked the food.
Are they open for lunch on Saturday?
I don't know if they're open for lunch on Saturday.
Is there a fixed price lunch menu?
I don't know whether there's a fixed price lunch menu or not.
Are there enough tables for 50 guests?
I don't know if there are enough tables for 50 guests.
Do they have live music?
I can't say if they have live music.
Can they order a special birthday cake?
Good question. I wonder if they can order a special birthday cake.
Unit 11, Practice 14, page 343. Your friend asked you to listen to her phone messages. Write the messages using reported speech. Listen more than once if necessary. Message 1.
This is Cindy from the dentist's office. I'm calling to remind you that you have a dental appointment tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Message 2.
Hi, it's Janet. I just want to say hello. I'll call you later.
Message 3.
My name is Ken Stevens. I've been trying to reach you to talk about the new work schedule. My number is 678-555-9542. Please call me back. Thanks.
Message 4.
This is Tony from the travel shop. Your tickets will be ready tomorrow. If you'd like us to mail them to you, we can send them by regular mail or express mail. Let me know.
Message 5.
Hey, it's Jim. My boss gave me 2 tickets for the Wild Rockers concert next week. Do you want to go with me?
Message 6.
It's your mother, dear. I called you at work and you weren't there. I've been calling you at home, but there's no answer. Where are you? I'm worried. Please call me.
Unit 11. Practice 17. Page 347. Listen to a teacher giving some instructions before a test. Rewrite each statement using the reporting verbs in parentheses.
1. Listen carefully.
2. Don't talk.
3. Please put all your books and papers away.
4. Please do not try to copy your neighbor's work.
5. Cheating will be severely punished.
6. I will fail anyone who cheats.
7. Check the answers carefully before handing in your exam.
8. You will get a prize if you finish all the questions.
Nine. Would someone like to help me give out the papers?
Ten. Would you like me to repeat the instructions?
Unit 11, Practice 19, page 349. Rewrite the sentences using the subjunctive. Listen and check your answers. A 17-year-old boy was arrested for stealing CDs from a music store. He was sent to a youth correctional facility for a month. What were the opinions of the people involved in the case?
1. The judge recommended that he go to jail for 2 months.
2. The parents demanded that he get another trial.
3. The lawyer suggested that he do community service.
4. The police officer insisted that he repay the money to the store owner.
5. The store owner requested that he return the CDs.
Unit 11, Listening Puzzle, page 351. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a way of recording information. It lets you go back to the information again and again. It also lets you find the specific information you need without going through all of it. It is easy to carry. It is also very sturdy. It usually will not break if it is dropped. There are special kinds of it that blind people can use. It can be made entirely by hand. However, almost all of them are now made by machine. They have been made this way since about the year 1450. What is it?
Unit 11, Listening Puzzle, page 351. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a way of recording information. It lets you go back to the information again and again. It also lets you find the specific information you need. Without going through all of it. It is easy to carry. It is also very sturdy. It usually will not break if it is dropped. There are special kinds of it that blind people can use. It can be made entirely by hand. However, almost all of them are now made by machine. They have been made this way since about the year 1450.
End of CD 2. Unit 12, Practice 6, page 367. Combine the sentences about famous Americans using whose in an adjective clause. Then listen and check your answers.
1. Martin Luther King, Jr. was a civil rights leader whose most famous speech contains the words, "I have a dream."
2. Abraham Lincoln was a president of the United States whose most famous achievement was freeing African Americans from slavery.
3. Benjamin Franklin was an American statesman and inventor whose most famous invention was the lightning rod.
4. Wilbur and Orville Wright were brothers, whose aircraft was the first wooden, piloted, heavier-than-air, self-propelled machine to fly.
5. Dorothea Lange was a photographer whose photos made people realize the poverty of workers during the Great Depression.
6. Alice Walker is an African-American writer whose novel, The Color Purple, received the Pulitzer Prize in 1983.
7. Elizabeth Cady Stanton was a leader of the American women's rights movement whose lifetime of work helped women gain the right to vote in the United States.
Unit 12, Practice 11, page 373. A worker is talking about a coworker. Complete the sentences with the words in parentheses and of which or of whom. Listen and check your answers.
Let's go to lunch with Barbara.
Not with Barbara. I don't really like her.
Why not?
Well, she always tries to give advice, most of which is useless.
That's not so bad.
And she talks about all the designer clothes she has, none of which we ever see on her. She tells everyone about how much money she spends on things, all of which can't be true because we all know how much she makes.
I see.
She talks about her 2 beautiful children, both of whom look like her, and she is definitely not a beauty. She always talks about choosing a medical school for her son and daughter, neither of whom are doing very well in high school. She also talks about her wonderful husband and how good he is to her, a little of which must be true, because he has put up with her for so long.
Oh, hi, Barbara. Would you like to go to lunch with me?
Unit 12, Practice 13, page 375. B. Now combine the pairs of ideas into one sentence with which. Listen to check your answers. Then take turns reading the sentences with a partner. Remember to pause before which.
1. The teacher encouraged me, which motivated me to work harder.
2. The teacher corrected my paper in red ink, which helped me find my mistakes.
3. She let us use the internet to do our research, which was easier than finding books from the library.
4. We didn't have tests every week in class, which made us feel less pressure.
5. We wrote about the news of the day, which made me read newspapers and listen to the news.
6. We worked with other students in class, which helped me make new friends.
7. The teacher always paid a lot of attention to us, which made us feel like she cared about us.
8. We lost points when we handed in homework late, which meant I had to do my homework on time.
Unit 12, Practice 16, page 379. Listen to statements about food products. You will hear sentences with adjective clauses. Write the past participle of the verb you hear to complete the sentences with reduced adjective clauses.
1. Most of the coffee that is grown in Brazil is exported.
2. The most popular hot beverage that is drunk by Americans is coffee.
3. Strawberries, bananas, tomatoes, and other fruits that are sold in supermarkets are often unripe when they are picked.
4. Much of the fast food that is eaten by young people contains a lot of fat.
5. Hamburgers that are served on wheat buns are healthier.
6. Food that is taken from the freezer must be defrosted before cooking.
7. Some people like potatoes that are mashed with butter. Others prefer potatoes that are fried in oil.
8. Roquefort is a French cheese that is stored in caves.
'Unit 12, Listening puzzle, page 381. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a place to get rid of the waste produced in ordinary homes. Humans have used it for thousands of years. Most of the waste put here does not last very long. However, some things are not destroyed. These remaining items can tell us a lot about past civilizations. For example, bones or broken containers here can tell us about their eating habits. This waste system is sometimes criticized as bad for the environment. Waste can leak from it into underground streams. Also, it is criticized for using valuable land. As populations grow, even more land will be needed for this. What is it?
Unit 12, Listening Puzzle, page 381. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a place to get rid of the waste produced in ordinary homes. Humans have used it for thousands of years. Most of the waste put here does not last very long. However, some things are not destroyed. These remaining items can tell us a lot about past civilizations. For example, bones or broken containers here can tell us about their eating habits. This waste system is sometimes criticized as bad for the environment. Waste can leak from it into underground streams. Also, it is criticized for using valuable land. As populations grow, and more land will be needed for this.
Unit 13, Practice 7, page 398. Complete the sentences with so that, to show purpose, or therefore, to show result. Listen to check your answers. Then add commas, semicolons, periods, and capital letters where necessary.
Joanna wanted to go to the United States so that she could improve her English. She enrolled in an English program at a university so that she could learn quickly. She lived with her uncle and aunt, who wanted to speak their language with her, therefore she couldn't practice English at home. At first, her English wasn't very good. Therefore, she had to work hard. She learned to keep a notebook with her at all times so that she could write down new idioms and expressions that she heard. Also, she joined some clubs at the university. Many American students became her friends, therefore she was able to practice with them. After 6 months, her English was very good. Therefore, she decided to return home. She bought a computer so that she could stay in touch with her American friends. Now she is looking for a job in tourism so that she will be able to use her English at work.
Unit 13, Practice 15, page 405. Listen to the sentences. Can they be reduced or not? Write Y for yes or N for no next to each one. If the sentence can be reduced, rewrite it.
1. After she finishes an assignment, Julia checks her work carefully.
2. When her work is completed, Julia's friends can call her up on the phone.
3. Since she started her new schedule, Julia has been much happier.
4. When the instructor gives a new assignment, Julia starts work on it immediately.
5. While the instructor is handing out the grades, Julia feels very anxious.
6. Julia knows that she must stay healthy, so she runs every day and eats lots of fruit.
7. Before she returns home, she goes to the coffee shop with her friends.
8. When Julia gets a good grade, her parents are very pleased.
13. Listening Puzzle, page 407. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a kind of storm. It can damage homes and other property. A very severe one may also kill people. The worst part of it is the strong wind. Scientists have measured winds as high as 318 miles, 512 kilometers, per hour in one of these storms. That is the highest wind speed ever recorded on Earth. Usually, it strikes a small area. It may destroy the homes on one side of a street, but leave the other side untouched. This storm is far more common in the United States than anywhere else. On average, the state of Texas sees 126 of these storms each year. What is it?
Unit 13, Listening Puzzle, page 407, C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a kind of storm. It can damage homes and other property. A very severe one may also kill people. The worst part of it is the strong wind. Scientists have measured winds as high as 318 miles, 512 kilometers, per hour in one of these storms. That is the highest wind speed ever recorded on Earth. Usually, it strikes a small area. It may destroy the homes on one side of a street, but leave the other side untouched. This storm is far more common in the United States than anywhere else. On average, the state of Texas sees 126 of these storms each year.
Unit 14, Practice 14, page 434. B. Listen to what happened to Oscar last week. Write what happened, then write wishes for Oscar after each event.
1. My car broke down. 2. I ate all the food in my refrigerator. 3. I didn't pay my phone bill last month. 4. I spent all the money on my credit card. 5. I was late for work and got fired. 6. I couldn't find another job.
'Unit 14, Practice 16, page 435. Listen to Linda stating facts about herself. Write wishes for Linda using if only.
1. I'm not athletic. 2. I'm not rich. 3. I don't have much free time. 4. I have to work very hard. 5. I can't sing or dance. 6. I can't drive a car. 7. I don't have a boyfriend. 8. I worry about my life all the time.
'Unit 14. Listening Puzzle. Page 437. A. Listen and check the correct answer.
This is a dairy product. That means it is produced from the milk of an animal. Usually, the milk of cows is used. The origins of it are unknown. Most experts think it was first made somewhere in Southwest Asia. A common guess is that it was made by accident. If warm milk was carried in a goatskin bag, this could form. Most kinds of it are solid at normal temperatures. Some modern types of it smell very bad. Some even contain lines of blue or green mold. Milder kinds are commonly used as pizza toppings. What is it?
Unit 14, Listening Puzzle, page 437. C. Now listen again and write the sentences you hear.
This is a dairy product. That means it is produced from the milk of an animal. Usually, the milk of cows is used. The origins of it are unknown. Most experts think it was first made somewhere in Southwest Asia. A common guess is that it was made by accident. If warm milk was carried in a goatskin bag, this could form. Most kinds of it are solid at normal temperatures. Some modern types of it smell very bad. Some even contain lines of blue or green mold. Milder kinds are commonly used as pizza toppings.
End of CD 3.